start almost 5 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and start. What's the first thing I say? Welcome. Welcome here to our special meeting that we've got going. We have our consent agenda items for discussion and action and approval of the Northview Fire District's expenditures. Let's see, do I have to vote on that, don't I? Or what do I say? It's any questions, or I'll offer a motion?
A few questions.
Okay.
One on the lease for $1,000. Page 3, lease market, $1,087.75.
2/1/2010.
Down about 2/3 of the way down. Because we got the purchasing policy this time too, and there's some direction in there.
It says you're supposed to discuss anything over 25,000. Good Lord.
What is 26?
In the
Did or not, we ordered it back last August,
Okay,
or July or August, something like that.
That was discussed at that point, that is what you're telling us?
That's what I'm hoping.
That's probably part of the budget for last.
Well, it's in the budget, yeah.
well, but it doesn't matter if it's in the budget, the purchase has to be discussed by the board. But if it, if it was ordered last August, then that would have been before our term.
It would have been even before that.
It would have been even before
It would have been before that. It was before July,
previous before.
because they quit taking orders in like April or May.
So was the seal bid and all that kind of stuff done?
It was a state bid.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but on here it doesn't show on deposits, the deposit from the sale of the vehicle that it replaced. It'll probably be on next month's
Okay,
statement.
yeah, because there's nothing in sale of assets yet, so.
Yep, that should show up next time then.
Okay, that might be something to make a note of, make sure that we see that, or at least when it comes through.
That's the only question I have on the expenditures. Nobody else has anything, I'll make the motion that we approve that agenda item and accept the expenditures as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we go ahead and move on down to the agenda
Sure.
items. Okay, appointment of Chief Administrative Officer for Records Appeals, Budget Officer, Procurement Officer, and Appeals Hearing Officer for hazmat recovery. And of course, President, your chairperson, Wheelwright, is in charge of that.
I talked with Mr. Wheelwright, actually about, 50 minutes ago now, and he
There he
was
is.
questioning on that. We need to do anything on that tonight or not.
The district has adopted the hazmat resolution and thus would have authority to appoint the appeals officer. So if there's no urgency to do it, I propose we just,
Do you want a formal motion, sir?
or we can just
Well, you just table it.
table it. Yeah, so I entertain a motion.
Then to table items.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any other?
Have that, and it seems to me that's a bigger issue than.
Anything over 5,000 is supposed to be brought to the board anyway, correct?
Goes to the chairperson.
Or the chairperson, up to 25,000.
So what I'm hearing you saying, John, is there's a need for a dialogue.
Well,
To be
no, I
consistent.
just think if that statement's gonna be in there for over 2,500, it ought to be in there for over 12,000.
That's what I'm saying. You're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I agree. I see what you're saying.
Didn't catch that.
Well, why don't we just put that on a future board meeting to amend the purchasing policy.
Yeah, why don't you just look at
Policy
that,
and
Chief,
procedure.
you and Sally, and just,
The governing board of the local building authority, the Northview Fire District, met in an organizational meeting, this address on March 24th, 2010 at 5 p.m. The president said meeting the following initial members of the governing board of the authority as designated in the Articles of Incorporation. Timothy Wheelwright, Chair; W. Grover Wilhelmson, Vice Chair; A. John Arrington, Trustee; Dean B. Hunt, Trustee; Nate M. Ferguson, Trustee; Paul B. Ellsworth, Trustee; Jill Anderson, Trustee. Also present, Sally Garcia, Clerk. None are absent, constituting all members thereof. Thereupon, and I'll entertain a motion that someone be appointed the acting chair of the governing board of this authority pending the election of officers at this organizational meeting and preside as such until, so I need somebody to make that motion.
I'll move that Timothy Wheelwright be appointed the acting chair, and that Sally be the, Garcia be the acting secretary.
I'll second that.
In doing that, I think that we need to make note that they don't have.
Notice of special meeting that apparently all of us will have to sign, acknowledging, and we'll take care of that as we go through. Okay. So now we'll move to item number 2, which is consideration for adoption of a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of not more than $850,000 aggregate principal amount of lease revenue refunding bonds, Series 2010, of the local building authority of Northview Fire District, Utah, fixing the maximum aggregate principal amount of the. We've been presented a certificate of compliance with an open meeting law, which is Exhibit A of this particular resolution. Just says,
It just
was
says.
introduced in writing and was fully discussed. So that would be Resolution 2010-04. Looks like it consists of, passes unanimously. I think the only other item of business would be, before we leave, to, for the, all board members to sign the open meeting notice.
I mean, the pre-closing meeting, are we all supposed to be to that?
And it says mayor, city recorder, and treasurer.
So
So,
none of us have to be there.
Which would essentially be your chair, your vice chair, and your
Yeah,
secretary. I'll clarify that.
yeah. I mean, it's just somebody that can officially represent the board.
Okay, any, oh, yes.
I make a treasurer type resolution authorizing the bonds, is to refinance bonds. It's not like a new purchase, we're not going out and doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's to take, and refinance the bonds that were under the city's, or the agency, and move them into the district. So, that, you know, I want the public to be aware and clear that we're not going out and bonding for $850,000. We're basically refinancing that debt.
Thank you for that clarification. I do think that's a very important point to make. And there's no new debt being incurred here. We also talked about an additional benefit of this is a way for the Northview Fire Agency, which is an entity that continues to exist, that consists of North Ogden, Pleasant View, and Harrisville. That could be disbanded, would have no further purpose, and could cease operations. So there's some, and then there's some accounting benefits also, where we won't have to maintain 2 separate books. We'll just have a single set of books. Many benefits of this action. So does anyone want to add anything else?